Here's how to get rid of Unicourt links on the first page of Google. If you have court records on the first page of Google, you haven't had any luck getting them sealed, they're there and they're negative, there's many things you can do. We've been doing this for the past 10 years, helping clients suppress or remove negative content from the first page of Google. Court records are very systemized. We follow a similar process every single time. And in this video, I'm going to share that playbook with you. The first thing we're going to recommend you do whenever you have court records online is to go and take a look at the domain authority. Okay, when we're looking at Unicourt, it has a pretty high domain authority. Usually these sites have a domain authority well over 50, 60, 70. And what that is a number from 0 to 100 indicating how trustworthy it is on Google. These court sites are often linked from a lot of other legal blogs, and this structure gives it a lot of power in the eyes of search engines. So what you need to do is create more authoritative content. You might not be able to publish on a website that's as powerful straight out of the gate, but what you can do is make a more relevant website, and that's going to be a personal website. Go to a website like GoDaddy.com or make it on Wix or Squarespace or WordPress. Just create a personal website, and it can be very simple. All it has to do is maybe have a few images on it, have your name, and I would want to repeat your name maybe 3 to 5 times, maybe slightly over 5 times, so long as we're not overstuffing it, because Google doesn't like that either, so long as we're using your name adequately throughout the website. And bonus points, if you register this site and you do firstname.lastname.com, that's going to send multiple positive signals to Google. It's going to say that my first name and last name, is in this website. My first name and last name is mentioned throughout the website. It has content like images. It has multiple pages. This court record is just your name v somebody else maybe, okay? That's not as relevant. So personal websites are always going to rank ahead. And once that website does rank ahead, because this is what we recommend doing first, ranking it before moving on to other content. Simply relax, pace yourself, build a website, populate it with content, open a blog on the website, write a blog piece on that website, and then just monitor it. Google your name every so often. Don't click the negative link, okay? Only click the positive links and see my website's rising. You will notice eventually it hits the first place, and that's the first step. Once you've done that, it's likely going to anchor. It's not going to move around unless you send another strange signal to Google telling it that, this isn't my website anymore. It's not going to think that. So it's going to stay there. It's going to anchor in search. Then you can rinse and repeat. You can do another website. You can start using social media platforms. But I would build each one of these sites slowly so that you can load it and populate it with enough content and not spread it so thin. Because this is a new trend we're noticing in 2026. If you create a lot of content willy-nilly, like you did 10 years ago, that would have worked in online reputation management. None of it will rank. Google wants consistent and strong signals from each website showing that it's real. And that doesn't only mean domain authority anymore. It can when there's no content on the web for your name. The most authoritative, on paper is always going to rise to the top. But should you make a website that Google says this is a legitimate website, it may not be powerful, but it's definitely about this person. Especially if you have a unique name, it is certainly going to rank. Social media, the same thing. Load it with enough content. Get a little bit of engagement. Minimal engagement is enough. You don't need hundreds of thousands of followers. You don't need thousands. You don't even need hundreds. But you need some form of engagement. If you can make posts that are going to get some likes and add your friends, that's going to help. People who know you in real life are actually going to, if you post a picture of your dog or talk about something professional, which is what we usually recommend, then it's going to start to be pulled into Google. Google will pull in those metrics and rank above Unicourt. So if you have a Unicourt link, realize that, okay, it's just a court record. It's not as relevant as a website. It's not as relevant as my social media. If I publish these, it's going to work out a lot better. And then we recommend building more of an online presence, doing guest posts, writing third-person articles about ourselves, or commissioning a writer to do it, and then publishing either a press release on EIN Presswire or AB Newswire, or maybe sending this over to a blog publisher on Fiverr.com and publishing it. Any one of those actions eventually will work. But there's something you need to understand. This is a rinse and repeat process. Even with our 10 years of experience, we know basically how much time and how much content it's going to require to suppress Unicourt records. We know that it's going to take a while, but we know removal isn't 100% possible. freedom of the press is very high in the US. So if somebody is publishing off of that Unicourt record, it's hard to remove that, and it's hard to remove the record itself. But there are key benefits to court records in general, and that is, to the lay viewer, they don't really understand that it's litigation. If this is on page 2 and you've suppressed it, or it's on page 3, I can guarantee almost nobody's going to find it. And the reason for that is it's your name, somebody else's name, or some company's name, or whatever is there, and it doesn't really look like social media. It doesn't look like anything damaging. It's really dense, so unless somebody actually reads the court docket, they're not going to understand what it is. Now, third-party due diligence, maybe certain jobs, they might see it, and that's why we want to push it down as far as possible. So what we recommend is follow these tips outlined in the video. Check out some of the other videos, maybe the more technical ones. We have a video on reputation management writing. We have a video on building socials. We have a video that even gives you the social network spreadsheet, which is our own proprietary information. Consume all this content and start yourself. And you can also contact us. Click the link in the description down below. You can book a no obligation consultation with me. I will meet with you and we will discuss how to remove or suppress this Unicourt record. Anyway, my name is Nadernejad, Director of Nadernejad Media Incorporated, 10 years in reputation management, and thank you for watching.